welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, in today's video, we're going to be talking about striker guard break setups. Specifically, even if you block, in the end, I'm going to break you open and still get my damage. Now, in a previous video, I did showcase this, and a lot of people were wondering exactly how it worked. Despite seeing the setup, you still have to know quite a bit about how it works. So, well, that's exactly what this video is. So, first things first, I'm just going to show you an example of a universal guard break setup. Works anywhere on the screen. You can do it in the enemy corner, like you're cornered yourself. You can do it in mid-screen, you can do it in the, like, it doesn't really matter, but you can just do it anywhere, right? So let's show you that example first, and then let's break down how it works, and after that, let's talk play, counterplay, and everything about guard break setups themselves. To note for the duration of this setup as well, the enemy will set to try to match reversal, so if at any point there is any kind of gap, they will reverse through it, just to prove that this is completely gapless. And guard break, and then from there you can go into literally any combo you want. It does not matter because they're guard broken, right? They can't defend themselves, and plus they have a good chunk of gray health, so any magic attack, it's a critical hit, you get rid of all that gray health on top of all the damage you're doing, meaning you're doing even more effective damage in the end. So that's great, right? That's basically the setup in a nutshell. So before we talk more about, you know, kind of the play counterplay, let's break down that setup specifically, because I find even though you can see my inputs and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't tell the whole story of what's going on. Alright, so while I explain this part here, I'm going to turn off the reversal so I don't get my head kicked in every time we do a block. So the first part of the sequence is kind of basic. It's literally ABC. Like, it's A attack, light attack, medium attack, into your skill attack, right? And for the striker, her skill has a follow-up. Specifically, it's just hit the button a second time, right? But to make this setup work here, we're not letting the follow-up attack play out in full. We're actually going A, B, C, and when we're doing our skill follow-up here, when she does the elbow into the second hit, we're actually canceling at the elbow. We're not allowing the final hit to play out. So what we're going to instead is down skill. And the thing about down skill, and this is very critical for this, right? Down skill, it brings you in, like it moves you forward. It brings you closer to the enemy, and being close to the enemy is super, super, super key for all this. If you don't maintain your closest to the enemy, none of this works. So that's why we do skill, follow up, but we just cancel out the second hit and go into down skill. And from down skill, we're going into down medium here. And down medium is also very important here, because the down medium is the point where we go into our magic attacks, right? And that's where a lot of the guard gauge damage comes from. It's just berating them nonstop with the kicks, right? So for our beginning section here, everything to that point where we do down medium. So once again here, light, medium, heavy, heavy follow-up, cancel the first hit of the follow-up in the down heavy, and then go into down medium. All of that we're doing as fast as we can, right? But this is now where we slow our roll. This we want to let rock for a little bit, because the down medium is pushing us forward, and we want to be as close as possible to the enemy before we activate our kicks here. So if we do this as fast as possible without that, and then we go into this, well, as you can see, we're nowhere close to the enemy, right? We're not going to be able to continue the pressure. So this is why we delay it just a little bit, so we can get that to connect at the end. And also, so this is her reversal, right? We're also delaying that, so we have two delays back to back. We're delaying this into our special, and we're delaying that special into down special to have it connect. Because once again here, if we do everything as fast as possible, we just miss. The thing is, at the end of this move, after the third and final kick, it also moves us forward. We keep the momentum from the move. So we want to use that momentum and just wait a split second and then hit down and special our reversal, because that way it'll actually connect. So we're using two moves back to back, where we're letting the momentum of the move carry us forward before we hit our next button. Now, thankfully, this is about where the manual timing ends, because after that, you can kind of just go berserk and just have everything in the correct order. So right there, that's very, very important. So we're taking our reversal, getting 2 hits in, and we're immediately canceling it into our air special move. Because on the second hit, we're now airborne. And this move is stupid plus on block. So plus on block. Once again, you saw earlier, the bot was set to mash reversal, right? And even though they're set to mash reversal, this is so advantage on block, you have all the time in the world and just land and hit your jab and then continue out to the rest. And from here, it's kind of all she wrote. That's basically it. So let's explain that end sequence now. So the end sequence is we get our air kicks in here, and we land and we just hit with jab just to lock them down. And from there, it's sort of like the beginning a little bit. Just now we go ABC, and we do the follow-up again, but this time we actually let all the hits carry out. Because we need the extra hits just for the extra guard gauge damage, right? And how we're playing it out differently from here is this. So now, after that connects, we let all the hits in. We go into forward heavy, which is our lunging punch, into another down heavy, which also brings us forward. And she has reverse speed, right? So we can hit the buttons in any order we want. And then from there, we just go into down medium to bring us back in. And so our spin kicks will connect, and we're golden. And we have just enough mana left over, shoulder break, and that right there is the guard break. So one more time in full here. So right here, slight delay. Wait, okay, we got it. Land. Let both hits connect. Boom, boom, boom. 3 kicks and guard break. And from there, we can do whatever combo, right? And that's the essence of the sequence. And keep in mind, once again, we are at 100 mana. We're at full health. We don't have extra mana. We didn't have any gimmicks. We could start like over here, right? Let alone we could do it in the corner or whatever. And let alone, this is the really important thing, this is where realistically you will actually start this most of the time from your dive kick. So let's talk about that for a second. So the setup we showed before just is to show you how easy and how universal it is, right? But most of the time you're not like in the corner going corner to corner or whatever, right? That's just to show off how universal it is. Most of the time, hey, you're going like a crazy person going off your dive kick or something. And every time you land that dive kick, one of the things is you can override the block stun of your dive kick by just going for a jab. Normally, if you go for dive kick and just let it rock, you're kind of far out a little bit. Anyways, like the spacing could be not favorable to you. But before you land and you hit that jab, it resets the spacing. And it's an overhead, right? So they have to block it standing. And if they don't, then you get a combo and screw the guard break, right? Who cares? And that just always kind of means you're always in the right positioning to land this. And once again, to be fair, we're going to set her back to mash reversal in case there's any gaps. And there you go, right? And the thing about that too is you notice that guard broke a little bit earlier. I didn't even need to go to the full big shoulder charge, right? Because, well, I had additional attacks ahead of it, right? The dive kick and the jumping jab are additional attacks, so it breaks the guard gauge even further. So you don't even necessarily have to play out the exact same way. In that scenario, just the act of the kicks themselves, the triple kick, is enough to break. And of course, if you don't feel like learning any different, right, you can just cancel the second of the 3 kicks and the shoulder charge, and that'll be the guard break, but whatever, right? So there you go, right? Pretty key cornerstone of her offense. And it works much the same. Guard broke at a different point because, well, you know, you're doing a different move, right? You're having more attacks than the earlier sequence, so the guard break comes even easier, so you can change things around. For example, you can just go into the shoulder charge on the second kick if you want to keep it exactly the same, or just leave it, and then the guard break happens on that kick, and you have more mana to play around with for a better combo when you get the guard break. So how do we beat this, right? Well, the answer is quite simple. It's simple as sugar, actually. You just guard cancel out of it. Oh, you're hitting me? See you later, right? Now, naturally, the consequence is that takes 100 mana. You know, and especially early on, there's not necessarily a guarantee because the striker could be baiting it out. However, there's a moment where you're basically guaranteed to get it. You're safe. And that is when the special moves start happening. So any point here, because she has reverse beat, who knows? But as soon as you see those specials, that's when it's safe. She can't fake you out there. She can't trick you there. As soon as you see the specials, you're 100% good to go. Like, there's just no way she can do anything about it. She can cancel that special and do another special, sure, but regardless, she's going to be directly beside you, and she's going to get smoked by the guard cancel. So guard canceling is a way to always get out of this for free when you know you're not getting baited. Because the thing is, when you're getting baited, the whole time, keep in mind she's allowed to reverse speed, right? So the whole time she's doing all this big combo, all this flashy stuff, she can just cancel out and just go crouch light kick here. No, because she never uses it during the sequence, right? So at any point, she can cancel any of these buttons into this crouch light kick and done. And she'll have plenty of time to just either not be in the way of your guard reversal, your guard cancel, or just straight up block it. So as an example here, okay, I've seen this stuff a million times before. Oh, she just went right into the light and reset, and we guard canceled the big fat nothing. So if you want to guard cancel, waiting for the special moves to come out is the safest thing. Because in that scenario there where she just kind of whiffed on the light, that's exactly where you die, right? So there's a safe place to guard cancel. The special moves are it. So if you're going to guard cancel, that is the place you want to do it. Because she can do reverse speed on her normal, sure, it don't matter, but she cannot reverse speed a special move. She can only do special moves into even more special moves. That's it, that's all. So she'll always be close enough for you to guard cancel out of her and just smack her aside and reset back to neutral. So basically, I don't know, that's the long and short of it, right? So that's how you do it. That's a universal example that always works. You don't need 150 mana. You don't need conversion cancels. If you have more mana, if you have more conversion cancels, it just gets easier and easier because basically you just do more and more specials into more special cancels because that's where the bulk of the guard gauge damage comes from. And the counterplay, it's kind of one note. It's guard cancel, because if you don't guard cancel, as you saw earlier, there's no gaps. You can't reverse through it, right? If you don't guard cancel, you're dead. Simple as that. But if you do guard cancel, then you get off, and hopefully you don't get baited out, because that's her form of counterplay to your counterplay. The thing is, the big question is, if you do push her off, that's when problems could return, because if you push her off with that guard cancel, and then you kind of lose the next interaction, and sure, you block the next dive kick or something, but now you're out of mana, and now she can just repeat the exact same sequence. That's when there's problems, because now you don't have the mana to guard cancel you, and she'll probably be able to break you open, considering the damage she's already done to that point, before you return to 100 mana again. So that's an issue. One thing you can do is, since if you wait long enough to guard cancel on the save point here where the special moves are, you'll take some chip damage, right? So now, knowing we'll have a little bit of gray health here and it's safe to guard cancel here, okay, I'm going to convert that. I'll get some mana back. And yeah, that means I did kind of lose health in the end, which is a negative, but I'll get some mana back. So now, if I hit her, then whatever. I'm not exhausted, and I have a little mana to do whatever combo with. And if I lose the next interaction, I'm back in the blender again. At least I have some mana back, and hopefully before I'm guard broken, I'll get back to 100 mana again, and I can just guard cancel and get her off me again, right? So that's kind of where we're at with this scenario. But in the end, my friends, so that's kind of everything you need to know about the Striker's guard break setups, play, counterplay, and all points in between. So I showed it in the previous video. I know I didn't go fully in depth, so if you had any kind of confusion about the matter, I hope now the confusion is cleared up and you fully understand everything there is to it. It's a strong feature. The fact that she'll just blender you if you don't fight back when you're blocking is a very terrifying thing, right? You do have options, as we've gone over, but it's still not a feel-good thing. So it's definitely a pro for the Striker that if she's hitting you or if she's not hitting you, she's still basically winning the match until you do something about it. That all said, though, well, now we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some DnF Duel.